Hi Molly, I've had top surgery. I chose to leave fat because I'm fat, not that I haven't said that 9,000 times, but since you probably don't understand at all from your comment what goes into having top surgery, let me just take you down that road. I was in therapy for gender dysphoria, documented therapy, for over a decade before I was approved for top surgery. I had to receive letters from my therapist, my hormone provider, my primary care clearance letters just to get that surgery. I had a pretty long recovery. It was pretty rough. I was the only one in that ward who has ever been a trans patient for, gender affirming surgery there. So that was pretty lonely, but I got through it. And after all that, I can go shirtless. I live as male, whether you view me as male or not. I do live as male. And comments like this, really throw me for a loop because you're trying to act like, it's really turfy. You're trying to act like, you're just about women's rights, but this isn't about women's rights. It's transphobic because you're looking at me just because I have fat in my chest, or even if I had scars showing, like all the time, you'd still say something about that too. And you're automatically comparing us to women, okay? Instead of comparing us to cis dudes who look pretty much the same on the beach. Cis dudes who are my size have fat in their chest. And I'm so sick of this argument of like, well, women can't do this. Yes, you can. At least where I live. How is what I'm doing hurting anybody, even if you want to use that argument? In a lot of states in the United States, it's perfectly legal. Am I stopping you? Am I stopping you from going on the beach like I am? Am I stopping you? Because I don't have a problem with it. But it doesn't break guidelines because I've had surgery. I live as male. And whether you don't see me as male, in general, society typically sees me as male. So yeah, won't be long before this comment is deleted. I'll have to submit an appeal to get this restored, but I win it, like always. There is a lot of misogyny in society. Women do get shit on a lot. But me being shirtless as a trans man isn't the same thing. It doesn't fit. It's not relevant, so move on. Sure, first I have to do my spiel. My name is MJ. I'm a trans man. I've had top surgery. I left fat because I'm fat. So, but I've done this one a couple times, but if I do it attached to this comment, it'll show up on my top surgery Q&A, so I can just direct people there. So thank you for your question. My number tattoos, a lot of people think that they mean something like a lot of people are like, are you in a gang? Numbers always mean you're in a gang. No, they're actually pretty boring. To preface, I did pretty much all my tattoos myself, 0 out of 10, not recommended. I don't regret it at all. I love my tattoos and I'll continue to tattoo myself, but of course I recommend going to a professional because it's safer and they don't come out as shitty. A lot of my tattoos are scratcher tattoos, but I love them. Scratcher just means like I did it myself, I'm not a professional, you know what I mean? They're not stick and poke, most of them. I do use like an actual tattoo gun, but like I said, I don't recommend it. But a lot of people ask me about them, I think because they look so dark in there. So I really wanted just like black tattoos and mostly words and numbers. So this is just 603. I'm born and raised in New Hampshire. And then 1990, the year I was born, 2013 when my son was born. 353 is Ireland's country code. I got that, because my family's Irish, not from, like, I'm third generation, so I'm like American. I live in America, but that's why I got that. 415, I got that because my father loves the Haight-Ashbury district, so I got that for him. 978, my family, not me, but like, my family, my dad and everything are from the Lawrence area, Essex County, that's why I got that. Let's see, what else? Do I have any more numbers? 26, that's when I started transitioning. I'm 31 now. 2, that's not finished. I was gonna do 2 deep for me and Roman, because people say, oh, I'm 1 deep, but we were always a pair, but now we have Eli, so I'm not gonna finish it, because now we're 3. So, what else? I think that's it. And some people ask me if I regret any tattoos. To be honest, no. I used to regret my neck. But now I feel like I wouldn't be me without it. I know that my tattoos are not the greatest. I know that they're not everybody's cup of tea, but I love them. I think they fit me very well and they help me pass. And it's been a great tool for me, both for relieving anxiety, when I'm just at home and need something to do and, to distract my mind, but also it's eased anxiety in situations where I might be outed, because the tattoos definitely help me pass more, definitely. So thank you for your question. Hi, so that's actually not a stupid question at all. So this is a concern I had when I went off testosterone. I was like, oh my god, even though I left fat in my chest during top surgery, I was afraid my chest would get like bigger, like I'd have regrowth, and then it would look like not as proportionate as I wanted it. But actually, since I had top surgery at about, I'd say I was 27 maybe, I think, I was done having kids, and, a little bit older. So the chances of me having enough hormonal fluctuations to actually cause regrowth are like extremely little. I'm 31 now, so, I'm like aging, and once you age, estrogen gets lower anyways, and so your chest actually likely decreases unless you gain weight, but then it's fat. You know what I mean? It's not actual tissue growth. So yeah, unless, things happen like pregnancies or, things like that, typically, there isn't a lot of tissue growth. That is why, like, with mastectomies and stuff, they usually have to do, like, procedures to reconstruct the chest. I can't say certain things because of TikTok, because the odds of it growing on its own without like hormonal intervention are very, very low. But also testosterone, if you aromatize, which aromatizing on testosterone, and this can happen to cis men too if they inject T, if you reach too high of a level, your body will aromatize and actually turn it to estrogen, and that can cause gynecomastia, which is like, I don't know if it's tissue growth. I haven't read enough into that, but I know it can make your chest bigger. So I feel I would actually have higher chances of that happening than actually having regrowth happen, because they remove like 95% of your tissue. So yeah, pretty much everywhere I've read, everything says like the odds of it happening are so low, but on T, it would be more of a possibility.
Desperado, sitting in a old Monte Carlo. A man whose heart is hollow. Take it easy. I'm not trying to go against you. Actually, I'm going with you. Gotta get up. Put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do? 24 karat magic in the air. Showtime. Guess who's back again? Oh, they don't know. I bet they know as soon as we walk in. Showed up. I'm wearing Cuban links, designer mix, Inglewood's finest shoes. Don't look too hard, might hurt yourself. Known to give the color red the blues. Woo, shit. I'm a dangerous man with some money in my pocket. Keep up. So many pretty girls around me and they're waking up the rocket. Keep up. Why you mad? Fix your face. Ain't my fault they all be jacking. Keep up. Players only. Come on, put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls.
Hi, thank you for your question. First, I have to do my spiel. My name is MJ. I have had top surgery. I'm a trans man. I chose to leave fat in my chest because I'm fat, and I felt like it looks more natural. Ignore the mower sounds outside. That's what that is. Okay, so yes, at first, it was a little scary. Actually, the first time I went to the beach shirtless, I purposely separated myself from my family, and I went off by myself, and I went shirtless because, my main concern was my son, to be honest. Like, not that I wasn't worried about everybody else, but mainly my son. And I didn't know how people would react, because I had never been in that position before, to go out, without a shirt or whatever, and just hoping I pass and hoping you know, nobody calls me out or anything. At the time, like, I didn't have TikTok at the time, so I didn't get recognized as much, but I still had a pretty decent following on Instagram, so I was a little nervous someone would recognize me and out me. Yeah, so I separated myself from my family, went off on my own. Oh, my cat. Alright, so I went off on my own. Okay, so yes, back to focusing. Okay, so I went off on my own, and then you know, once I saw that nobody really cared, actually my family gravitated towards me. I kind of stayed by myself, and they were like, ah, it's cool now, you know, whatever. The first time I was shirtless, I will never forget this. Well, the first time I was shirtless at a beach, because I did go to a public pool before that, but it was real low-key, like, not many people were there. But my first time in a big public setting, shirtless, I'll never forget, like, nobody even acknowledged me. Like, they didn't, I thought it was gonna be this huge thing. Nobody cared. It was great. Like, everybody just thought I was, like, another fat dude. They didn't care. There was only one person in the water who, kept looking at me, and they, like, were staring at me, and I don't think it was because they, like, clocked me or anything like that. It was a dude who was probably about my size. We were both in the ocean, and he had, like, a shirt on, and he was just kind of looking at me, and I don't think he meant it in, like, I don't think he was even thinking, like, that I was trans. I honestly think he was thinking, because I'm, like, fat, like, this is, for me, my ideal body. Like, I wanted fat in my chest because, you know, I wanted to look like an everyday fat dude. And here this dude was who lives every day as a fat cis guy, and I think he was kind of shocked that I was just, like, out and, like, happy with myself, you know, and not wearing a shirt or anything. That's kind of the vibe I got. So it's so funny how, like, you know, the things that other people are insecure about can be your ideal. Like, the things that he felt were a flaw, like, I think is great. Hi, so I actually have a funny story about this, but I gotta do my spiel first. My name is MJ. I've had top surgery. I chose to leave fat because I am fat. So moving on, about the numbers, I actually just did a video on it. They mean nothing really significant. Well, to me they do, but doesn't mean I'm like, everybody always thinks that I have these numbers like there's some cryptic code or like, it's just normal, like, dates and shit that mean a lot to me. But I have a funny story about a tattoo that, well, I wouldn't say I regret it, but it was just so fucking hilarious. Okay, so listen, my dad and I, our lucky number is 619. And so I wanted to get a tattoo that, like, represented the number, but I didn't want to get the actual number. Why? I don't know. I have numbers all over me. I should have just done it. But I didn't want to, so I was like, oh, I'll just do letters of the alphabet. And so the letters of the alphabet were F-A-I for 619, right? So, that's fine and all, that's fine. Except I chose a font that made it, let me see if you can still see it. I don't know if you can still see it. It makes it look like, can you even see that? Fat. Which, I mean, true. I'm not covering it up, because true. But I just thought that was funny. It was supposed to be a representation of, like, our lucky number, and I ended up tattooing fat on my my wrist, so I thought that was kind of funny. Hi, so first of all, congratulations on getting top surgery soon. That is very exciting. Nope, they don't always do liposuction. Some men just have keyhole. Like, there's different types of top surgery. Our community mainly, a lot of the times, only talks about, you know, double incision. But there's tons of different types. If you have, like, any male contouring of the chest done, from my understanding and my experience, they do some liposuction. So yeah, it's not like the same across the board, like every surgeon is different, but I do think it's kind of standard for double incision, because a lot of the time, if you just removed, you know, the fat and tissue, there are still characteristics of a male chest. you know, like I said, I have to be careful with TikTok. I can't go into like grave detail, but even without like fat and stuff, male chest is a little bit different, or a cis male chest, than a typical cis woman's chest. So yeah, I'm not really sure. I would ask your surgeon, and see what they have planned. It really depends. Yeah, I know that if I had have just personally gotten, you know, fat and tissue removed, my chest would have still probably not looked super male. They definitely like decreased the size of some things, I can't say, and then stuff was moved up, and then around here stuff was like, I think I had liposuction like around here. So yeah, I really like it. I think it was, you know, a good option. I feel like my chest, you know, even though I have fat in it, it looks like, you know, every other fat guy, I feel, or most fat men, I should say. Yeah, so, I don't know, I pass when I go to the beach and stuff, so it works. And I hope you have safe and awesome top surgery. Alright, so I'm not going to do my spiel about my top surgery, because you can just, you know, find it yourself. I know people are getting sick of me repeating myself. I am too, so you can do the legwork, as I say. Okay, so another question I get asked a lot by mostly TERFs, which TERF is a trans-exclusive radical feminist. They are basically feminists who exclude the idea that trans people should have any basis in any type of women's issues. So, as I was saying, a lot of times I'll get this comment like, you know, if you can go shirtless, I should be able to go shirtless too. So first of all, I've had top surgery, like I'm post-op, but second of all, nobody's stopping you from being shirtless. It is literally, it's legal where I live. The only thing stopping you, I guess, is your mindset. I mean, go shirtless. No, like, I don't understand why some women think that trans men are like stopping them, like, no, you cannot be shirtless, no. We don't care. In fact, I would say a lot of us probably are like, bravo, go, like, we don't care. And if you're talking about how society views you, then you're literally relating trans men to women, and that's transphobic. Like, I'm not the type of person, anyone who follows me knows I'm like very laid back, and like I am the last person to be like, that's transphobic, but like that is because you're taking males that literally live as men, okay, a lot of them have been on hormones, had top surgery, and you're taking us, and instead of saying, comparing us to cis men, because cis men my size look like this, they got a little fat, they got a fat gut, usually, that's usually how it is. Instead of comparing us to them, you're comparing us to women. Well, if you can, then why can't women? Because we're not women. But, as I said, Brenda, nobody gives a shit. If you want to go shirtless, go shirtless. It's not my fault you're being a little bitch about it.